What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. So, billionaire and addict Elon Musk is upset that South Africa won't let him colonize their internet space. He says that the reason why South Africa won't let this apartheid baby just run his Starlink in South Africa unabated by any other black person. He says it's because he's not black. He's upset that South Africa requires companies, foreign companies, to hand over 30% ownership and profit to a black South African if those companies want to profit off black people. And the neo-Nazi is upset. He doesn't understand why people don't want to do business with him. He doesn't understand. Maybe it has something to do with him being a Nazi. Maybe it had something to do with him and his racist daddy being profiting over blood of the Africans in those mines. Maybe it got something to do with him promoting racist ideologies globally. Maybe it got something to do with that. I mean, I don't understand why these super uber rich white people are so out of touch with reality. They think that it's a problem when the world doesn't allow them to dominate. It's like if the white man's not dominating, they're being oppressed. And since I can't say it, right? Because apparently these white people, these racist white people don't listen to me. Because I'm human, right? I'm going to get one of Elon Musk's brethren, okay, to say what he needs to say to Elon Musk. I'm going to go grab one of Elon Musk's closest relatives, okay, because even he is embarrassed by Elon Musk, and he got one or two things to say, okay? So I'm done talking. I'm going to let Elon Musk's cousin talk, the rest of this video, and y'all guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section. I'll put the article, the video, so you guys can see what it is we all talking about. But anyway, without further ado, here's Elon Musk's family member explaining to him what the situation is, since he don't want to listen to us.
It's dramatic squealing. Elon Musk. Yeah, I'm talking to you, space cowboy. You can't just drop Starlink over South Africa like leftovers from a Mars picnic. Oink. We ain't anti-internet. We're anti-I own the sky now. You got to share the trough, my guy. Local companies, local jobs, local rules. Otherwise, it's looking like digital colonization with better Wi-Fi. So slow your rockets, talk to the people, respect the land, then maybe, this pig will stop squealing.
Hello and welcome. Our top story today is from South Africa. Billionaire Elon Musk has been at odds with his birth country and has yet again accused Pretoria of racism. Why? Because his internet service provider Starlink is not allowed to operate in South Africa. Musk said that he suffers from discrimination only because he is not black. Musk made these remarks in a post on X. In another post, Musk slammed South Africa for having more anti-white laws than anti-black laws under apartheid. Discrimination against the white people. This is exactly what US President Donald Trump has also accused Pretoria of. Musk is a former Trump ally. The two have had a complicated relationship, but they share the same stance over South Africa's broad-based black empowerment laws, introduced to redress the legacy of apartheid. These rules have been at the centre of the disputes between Musk and Pretoria. Let's break it down. South Africa's telecom sector is regulated by the Independent Communications Authority of South Africa. It requires foreign companies to adhere to the black empowerment laws, and one of the mandates is ensuring 30% local ownership. This basically means the 30% ownership in such companies should be held by black South Africans, women, youth or people with disabilities. But Starlink chief Musk has not been okay with it. He has repeatedly called the rules openly racist. As an alternative, his company proposed equity equivalent investment programs. This means that instead of ceding equity to local companies, companies should meet empowerment obligations through direct investment. There has been some progress in this direction as well. but it is disputed. Last month, South Africa's communications minister issued a directive. He asked the telecom regulator to amend its rules in local ownership and count equity-equivalent investment programs as a valid alternative to ceding ownership. But here is the catch. There is domestic politics at play. The communications minister belongs to the Democratic Alliance Party, or DA. It is the second largest party in the Ramaphosa-led coalition government. Now, the DA and Ramaphosa's African National Congress, or ANC, has been at loggerheads over the black empowerment rules. Black empowerment has been the cornerstone of ANC's policy, but the DA has had issues with it. It has called the rules a failure and even proposed to repeal the race-based laws. But the ANC has downright rejected the idea. Right after, the communications minister issued a directive last month. The ANC said that he had not have the authority to alter ownership rules. So it's not just international pressure, but also international politics that will decide the fate of Elon Musk's Starlink in Africa. And joining us to discuss this further is Mbule Nzege Leonard, a political analyst live from Johannesburg, South Africa. Welcome to First Post Africa.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me on air. And just a slight correction, I am based in Cape Town.
Thank you for that. Mbule, let's start off by looking at Elon Musk. Why is he getting involved in this conversation? Is it purely for profits and finances, or is there something else at play here?
There are many layers to this conundrum. Firstly, financial. South Africa is Africa's largest economy. It has a very large internet access coverage. Over 78% of the population has access to the internet. That's almost 50 million people. And a company like Starlink would want to have access to that, especially considering that South Africa has one of the largest middle classes and highest income earners across the continent. So, Elon Musk wanting Starlink to operate in South Africa would be more or less the crown jewel of operations in Africa, because even though they already are operating across close to over 30 African countries, South Africa would provide them with a market share that is, highly unattainable in other African countries. So you have that first prerogative. But secondly, you have the ideological imperative where Elon Musk is South African. He's South African born and he grew up during apartheid. But then as time has evolved, you have seen him, he has aligned more with the more right-wing white nationalist logic, which the Trump administration has been pushing for. And for him, this is part of a broader discussion about perceived white discrimination, which as many people within the South African community, including the president, the government, as well as opposition parties have noted, are unsubstantiated claims. So there is a two-pronged notion to this where it is both a financial imperative, but there's also an ideological underpinning where he's trying to push this narrative that the white minority in South Africa are being discriminated, and it's extending to his inability to have Starlink operate in South Africa because he doesn't want to adhere to the broad-based black economic empowerment policies.
Mbule, let's now look domestically. There has been political discourse and discussion around this issue. How do you see that moving forward, and could there be anything off the back of this dispute between ANC, DA?
Yes, I think as the background story had wonderfully put out, you have a scenario where the ANC is against this notion of moving against the black economic empowerment. What's interesting to note is that BEE was not necessarily an ANC formulated policy directive. It was proposed by, towards the end of when apartheid was coming to an end, white economic stakeholders, because the ANC's policy for redistribution was going to be expropriation and nationalization. And the white business stakeholders believe that enabling black entrepreneurs to be integrated into the business framework was going to be more ideal than having them do nationalization. Anyway, I digress. So the ANC, as well as partners within the coalition, such as Rise and Zanzi, as well as parliamentarians who are within the communications subcommittee, have said that this can't go ahead because Elon Musk has been so antagonistic towards South Africa. So they don't want a scenario where somebody who's against government policy and who's been speaking negatively about South Africa is so adamant to get into business with them because it can cause a national security threat. The opposition AFF has also said that this is not a good policy because now it's bowing to quote unquote white business interests. But then there are also other issues pertaining to having a foreign company having so much access to a very strategic sector where you have access to national database and people's personal information. Furthermore, it could have reverberations between the local business communities because you have large-scale telecoms companies like MTN and Vodacom, which have the state as shareholders, who haven't been given this leeway to be able to, put in place the equity investment alternatives, and they've had to have the state act as shareholders. If now a foreign company is being given this advantage or given this leeway, other companies are going to come into the forefront as, but why not us? We're not locals. Why are foreigners being favored over locals? So now there are a lot of those political reverberations as well as along the economic, as well as within the economic community.
And Mbule, to finish, I want to circle back round and look specifically at Musk's use of the word racist and racism, a rhetoric that Donald Trump has shared on South Africa, the South African regime. How significant is a powerful figure, the world's richest man, using this term to describe a country where he comes from?
Like I said, over the past year, South Africa and the United States have had a significant drop in bilateral relations, despite the fact that South Africa has historically been its largest trade partner, one of its strongest diplomatic partners. And one of the reasons because of these unsubstantiated claims that there is discrimination against the white minority. They've been claims that there's genocide, and the farmers are white farmers are being targeted, and as a result, the Trump administration put in place the Afrikaner refugee program. And the South African government, as well as even members within the white community, as well as Afrikaner, influential Afrikaners, have noted that these are unsubstantiated claims. These are not things that are happening. But then, because of Elon Musk's voice, because of his popularity, because of his stature on the global stage, and the fact that he owns a social media account like X, which is projected to millions of people, he has been able to push this narrative, which is false. So the BEE, the notion that he's not being allowed to operate in South Africa because he's not black, is being used further to fuel this agenda. And it's incorrect because, as you said, it's an economic redress mechanism. And it's not just for black people per se. When you look at it in South Africa, it's all groups that were discriminated under apartheid. You have Asians, you have Chinese, you have Indians, you have the mixed race known as coloreds, who are all beneficiaries of this because now historically they've been kept out of the economic dispensation. And despite these laws, you still have the white minority, which are still the biggest players in the South African economy. So Musk, along with the white nationalists and right-wing operatives in the US and in the Trump administration, have been really using this narrative and to push this agenda. And it has been very detrimental to South Africa. And they're going to continue pushing this. And we have an ambassador from Washington coming in who has also embraced this narrative. So it's going to have broader implications with respect to how South Africa and US relations are. But you can see that he is using this Starlink as a cloak for other agendas that he and the Trump administration have proposed to in recent years, which are unsubstantiated, which are untrue, and which even our international partners across the globe have agreed with.
Mbule, thank you ever so much for joining us and providing insight.
Thank you very much, and have a great rest of the day.
Fuck this, fuck that, and bitch, fuck you. Fuck this, fuck shit, fuck your daddy too. No, I ain't forget your motherfucker too. Motherfucker, fuck your blood and this fuckery they got us going through. Some fuck-ass white man long ago got all his fuck-ass friends on board with fucking up the world for sport, with fucked up weapons, ways and words. Now fast forward to present day, their fuckery has had its way, but as sure as F-U-C-K, this dog will have its fucking day. Fuck this, fuck that, and bitch, fuck you. Fuck this, fuck shit, fuck your daddy too. No, I ain't forget your motherfucker too. Motherfucker, fuck your blood and this fuckery they got us going through. Those fuckers put us under spells, said fuck y'all to a living hell. Fuck all the laws that nature tells, so we die cursed while they live well. But fuck, I've had it up to here. I curse their curses with no fear. I give no fucks, I live to hear the song that justice sings so clear.
Free Sudan. Boycott diamonds and gold. Free Sudan. Boycott diamonds and gold. We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.